The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing. Sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome to Phoenix, as after Turkey Day, it's head shopping day as we head to the final race before we go to Homestead next week with the SOMO, Portside, Jaguar and Land Rover Cup Series. My name is Sam Cooper Bennett. We're just about to head straight into the race. We're sorry we are a bit late today, but we are going to be going straight to the race in just a second. Joining me in the booth is my broadcast partner, Mr. Scott Brinton. As always, Scott, just one more to go out of the way, and then we've got the big finale next week. He might just be away for a second, but he will be back with me in a moment. But anyway, let's go straight into it. We are going straight to the race action here tonight. And with that, let's go to the grid for tonight's race. When I've figured everything out. So, starting up on the pole will be Mr. Keith Moyato. He'll be joined on the front row by Mr. Adam Baker, 2 drivers eager to make it into Homestead. Row 2 will be Chris Simard and Braden Johnson. Row 3 will be Andrew Melvin and Seth Hatchell. Row 4 will be Jay Felton and Shane Papala. And row 5 will be Larry Holloway and Jeff Flockner. Row 6 will be Ron Hollifield and Lupe Gonzalez. Row 7 will be Travis Wall and Mike Grandy. Row 8 will be Kurt Davidson and Chad Heath. And starting shotgun on the field, making it a field of 17 here tonight, is Mr. Paul Zota, Chief Cook and Bottle Washer himself here tonight. So we do have a pretty decently sized field for this kind of track here tonight. 155 laps to get underway here. Let's go and find the driver of Mr. Keith Moyato, who's in the catbird seat as we go to get ready for tonight's race. And you see them all lined up there, ready to go. As I'm going to kind of assure you, Scott Brinton fans, he will be joining us very soon. And when we go to... I don't know, I'll let the people in the chat decide. End of stage 1 or end of stage 2. We can reveal our surprise, as today is a special broadcast as since it's after midnight here in Ireland. Yeah, it's my birthday now, so yeah, happy birthday me.
Happy birthday to you, cha-cha-cha. Happy birthday to you, cha-cha-cha. Happy birthday, dear Sammy. Happy birthday to you, buddy.
Thank you.
That was terrible.
Terrible but funny. But Scott, I think your prayers have been answered. We've got a nice, decent field here tonight.
I see that. Looks like we got 17 hot rods here. They all out there on the track?
They're all out there, I think.
Good deal. Here we go. Get us going, Sammy.
Yep, so for the penultimate time this season, they make it their way through turns 3 and 4. Waiting for that pace car to make that hard left turn. And 155 laps will get underway here at Phoenix. And 2 of the chase contenders are at the front. And away we go. 155 laps are underway here at Phoenix. And taking the initiative almost immediately is Mr. Keith Mayato. He's a man on a mission here tonight, eager to get into that Final 4 at Homestead. And right behind him is Mr. Adam Baker, also eager to make it into that Final 4.
Yeah, I was talking to Keith in the pre-race, Sam. I was chatting with Keith quite a bit today, and he seems determined, man. He knows he's got to race his way in here tonight. He knows he's looking good on points, but he wants to do it like the other two have done it, like his teammates done it, like Adam Baker's done it. He wants to race his way in and clinch that spot, so there's no doubt. And that means Jay Felton will be the one back there battling it up and trying to fight his way in and fight off Seth Hatchell and Lupe Gonzalez, who both need to win to get in tonight, pretty much.
Well, Jay Felton is the last man out there that's still in the chase, I believe. No, Lupe Gonzalez is back there in P12. Chad Heath and Kurt Davidson did not take the green here tonight, so we are down to 15 now. So,
and just looking at the points coming into tonight, why I was saying that those two guys would basically have to win is because Seth Hatchell is 36 points back at Jay Felton of that final transfer spot. And Lupe is even further back, and it's even further back to Papala and Hollyfield. So if any of those guys are going to beat Jay Felton out, being that Jay showed up tonight, they're going to have to do it by winning this race. Otherwise, Jay Felton will be the fourth guy, the dark horse, Sam, who came to life late in the regular season and raced his way all the way to what would be a championship appearance.
Yep, and that's the man sitting in P8 right now in the number 9 Monster Skittles Chevrolet Camaro.
Chevrolet.
I know. Sitting behind the returning Braden Johnson, who's returning to the series after taking a couple of weeks off.
Good to see him back. Yeah, he had a guy by the name of Mike, what was it, Eames, driving his car for the last couple of weeks.
So good to see him back in the True Grit number 3 as he gives up the position to Jay Felton and lets him by. Another man that's returning to the series here tonight is Mr. Travis Wall. We've not seen him in months. And he's decided, why not come out for a race here tonight in the Piggly Wiggly number 44?
They've, been trying to get some more guys in here. Good to see a few more guys in here. It's the field's a little bigger here tonight. That's good. We got a championship race next week. Hopefully we'll get the same kind of turnout for it. Because as I've preached before, Sam, well, actually not so much next week in this format because it's a chase format. Just those 4 guys that are in. But in any other kind of standard points championship, you need guys to show up if you're, back so far.
Absolutely. As we are looking to get a decent field for next week's finale at Homestead.
Yeah, we still need drivers next week, even though it's just narrowed down to those final 4. We still encourage people to show up and make a race out of it.
Oh,
yeah. Just have those 4 guys out there racing.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't just because you're not in a championship anymore, it doesn't mean you have to sit back and just watch everybody else run the race for you. Anyway, let's go back to the front here. We've got the battle going on between Keith Mayato and Adam Baker. Very close running between the 09 and the 48. 2 men look set to make it into the final 4 here, but still going to race it out for a win here tonight.
Oh, yeah. And Baker's pretty much been there since the race started. He has not gone away, and they've pulled away from everybody else. They've got quite a bit of distance there on 3rd place. But I don't think Keith is trying to drive away with this thing. I think he's just out there running laps, leading laps, protecting the tires, and Adam's just kind of hanging with him right now. And I'll tell you what, Keith is definitely a tire conservative, so I would definitely look for him to be stronger on the long run. But Adam has come around here lately on them longer runs, so you never know.
I'll tell you what, it's been a long time since I've seen Keith Mayata leading a race from the get-go. That's as honest as I can be right now.
It has been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, yeah, I know he's feeling like he let one slip away last night because he made a mistake coming in making a pit stop last night at Atlanta in the IndyCar Series, and it cost him a ton. And he would have been leading that race once it cycled through. And instead, he gave that up to Nate Seifker, and Nate went on to win that race. But I know Keith's wanting to win and make up for that here tonight.
Parked for speeding he was for that pit stop.
Oh, he got an unsafe entry too, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think he got the double bonus on that one.
He got completely effed last night.
Yeah, either way, you know, any kind of mistake on green flag pit stops, you know, when there's no more cautions, and we didn't have any more cautions, then you're pretty much screwed. He went a lap down, and he actually finished right in front of me. He was between me and Seifker. But, yeah, tough break for him. But look at Megatone for it here tonight, man. Race his way into that championship race next week at Homestead.
That'll make up for it more than make up for it, actually.
Definitely. But here comes Adam Baker, man. He's starting to apply a little pressure here. Getting a little closer. As is third place, Simard's reeling him in. You know, Simard, he's no slouch on taking care of the tires either, man.
Yeah, remember last...
Sorry. I think he might be a touch better than My Auto at doing it, and My Auto is a pro at it, so... He is, dude. He's a beast at saving tires, and I think Simard might be a tick better. They're definitely on the same level as far as that goes. But the longer the run, Simard comes to life.
Yeah, they are teammates as well, so they're probably working off each other as well. So,
who's that behind Simard? Papala?
That's
creeping up there.
That's Shane Papala. So.
Yeah, and a Slim Jim. Snap into a Slim Jim. Ooh, yeah.
You got Seth Hatchell back there in P5. You got Andrew Melvin up there in P6. We do have Mike Grandy in the field as well. He's there in the number 2 machine.
I haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah. I just heard Larry Holloway's running a new scheme here tonight, a QT scheme here tonight.
Right on.
Well, quick trip. That's what. Ron Holyfield back there in the Hardy's number 7. He's the last man in the chase, isn't he?
Say that one more time. I couldn't hear you.
Ron Holyfield is the last man in the chase, right?
Yeah, he was 8th in the chase. He's way back. He's definitely going to have to be one of those guys that's going to have to race his way in. Any of those guys, 5, 6, 7, or 8, they need a win tonight. Jay Felton showed up. So once he showed up and rolled the car off the hauler, those guys, points-wise, they were pretty much doomed. There's just not enough cars here tonight to make up the points difference. And that's where I was talking about, you know, they need people to show up to try to make up that points difference. But they didn't get that tonight, so those guys pretty much have to get the W.
Speaking of Jay Felton, he's closing in on Andrew Melvin right now, but he's bringing Braden Johnson, Lupe Gonzalez and Travis Wall with him, so we could have a nice little battle here for P6 here. Maybe P5 if Andrew Melvin can get onto the back of Seth Hatchell, but yeah, Jay Felton bringing some big gunners with him here tonight, and it's, we're going to have a nice big showdown if they're getting any closer as it stands. But Lupe Gonzalez looking on the outside of Braden Johnson there. Lupe Gonzalez not wasting any time, moving to the outside, going through 3 and 4. Not going to make the move work as Travis Wall going to take a look on Braden Johnson as well on the outside. They're going to try and work together on this one.
Yeah, he's applying some pressure, and he's definitely trying to take advantage of this situation here. They may go 3 wide here. They are going to go 3 wide. Look at that deal. 44 applying the pressure. I think he's going to get a twofer here, Sam.
Yeah, and no, your eyes are not deceiving you. Travis Wall is driving
Maybe
the
not.
old. No.
Look at that run on the outside by Lupe.
Yeah, and yeah, you're
Wall
right.
coming back though.
Yeah, your eyes are not deceiving you guys. Travis Wall is driving the old car here tonight.
And he got him. He finally did work on him, and he got him.
Oh, this is a battle between the old and the new car, isn't it?
Seems so.
SS versus the Camaro. So far, the SS is winning. Back in the front.
Pretty solid race so far. They're clanging and banging these laps out.
Absolutely. Even with the 15 that started. Oh, Paul Zota's put it behind the wall. Has he? No, he's not.
Yes.
No, he hasn't.
I say I didn't see that.
And he's got the anti-monkey butt cream paint scheme on, so I'm very happy with Mr. Zota right now.
And unfortunately, Chad Heath and Kurt Davidson did not take the grid, so we only had 15 officially take the grid.
So this battle still rages on between Adam Baker and Keith Mayata. They've managed to completely check out from Chris Simard, who's just running a race by himself right now. He has got Shane Papala behind him, but Shane Papala not really a threat right now. Not really doing anything to get right up to the back of him, as Seth Hatchell getting very close to the wall coming out of 4.
And Lupe's gotten back around Travis Wall here. Both these guys the biggest movers of the race so far, Sammy. They both moved up 4 spots. Lupe started 12th up to 8th, and Wall started 13th and up to 9th.
Yeah, Travis Wall, we saw him earlier in the season. I think he won a race earlier in the season as well, so he was one of the people, if he'd have stayed in it, would have been in this shindig late in the season, but unfortunately failed to show up for the rest of the races and ultimately lost his spot in the chase. So unfortunate for Travis Wall, but he's putting on a show here tonight in the old car. He's definitely giving Lupe Gonzalez a run for his money, and you can't really say that too often.
Just looking at Travis Wall's participation for this season, he was here for 2 races. He started on the pole back at Dover, but finished 22nd. Started 2nd at Auto Club and finished 25th, so he didn't have much success when he was here. Led from last, but ultimately didn't get the finishes here, so we hadn't seen him in a while. 2 DNFs and 2 starts.
I get confusing him with the Xfinity Series. He did win some races in that, I'm pretty sure he did.
Right on.
But anyway, he's ahead of Lupe Gonzalez again.
Yeah, they're having quite the battle, aren't they? And Braden just kind of hanging out. Got a little bit of company behind these 3 guys, too. That's the 2.
So we got the
and that's Mike Grandy. He's moved up 3 spots as well, Sammy. He started 14th, and he's up to 11th. We haven't seen Mike in a while, but having a pretty decent run so far. Biggest loser so far, Jeff Glockner. Sorry to keep cutting you off, Sammy. Our timing's a little off tonight. But Glockner, he's the biggest loser so far. Started 10th, has fallen to 14th spot. Actually, I take that back. Braden Johnson, he started 4th, and he's fallen to 10th. So he's lost 6 spots to Glockner's 4.
That's fine. Yeah, Braden Johnson starting to lose touch with Gonzalez now. And falling into the clutches of Grandy. So we've got the Deuce and the Trice about to
mix it up.
Yeah. Speaking of mixing it up, Mayata and Baker just cannot be separated right now.
When did you say the stages were? 45 and 90?
I don't even know.
I'm guessing they're probably 45 and 90. Yeah, 45 and 90.
For those that are watching in the chat, you have a choice here tonight. I'm going to get you guys involved. You can choose at the end of stage 1 or at the end of stage 2, where we can reveal our nice little video package that we've made for tonight's show. So get your votes in. Just let us know which stage you want us to reveal it, and we shall make it so.
Like magic.
Absolutely. Speaking of magic, looks like Keith Mayata did try and get away from Adam Baker there, but Baker just reeled him back in almost immediately as Keith Mayata tried to pull away.
Yeah, Adam just hanging here waiting for the end of the first stage. I don't think Adam's going to make too of an aggressive move before the end of this stage. It's not really worth it. They're not racing for anything. He knows that he could really, hurt Keith in a sense, but really Keith's raced his ways in points-wise, so really not much on the line, but I don't think you're going to see too much aggression this early on in the race.
No, way too early. Way too early. But, yeah, a bit further back, Chris Simard managing to pull away from Shane Papala. Now, Papala is 7/10 of a second back, and they're almost 3 seconds ahead of Seth Hatchell, who's still got Jay Felton, Andrew Melvin. Actually, no, they've both... Seth Hatchell and Jay Felton have got around Andrew Melvin now, so Melvin's starting to fall back, and now he's falling into the clutches of Travis Wall.
Sounds like he's worn the feel good off them tires.
Yep. And Phoenix is another one of those tracks that will hurt your tires. So.
Oh, definitely. Getting ever so closer to the end of that first stage. We got 14 laps to go to the end of stage 1 here at Phoenix, and the final transfer race before the championship for this long 2018 season that Southern Motorsports has put on this year.
Yep. And we can't be any more excited for 2019 if this is anything to go by. As we've gotten some bumping.
We got a crash. We got a crash with Simard and Papala.
Big crash, and that's brought out the caution here. That wasn't expected.
That was a late caution, too.
Oh, no, Jay Felton's involved.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Jay Felton got caught up in it. Let's take a look at that. See what happened here. I think it had something to do with Chris Simard, because
Simard just went right out into the wall. That looks like a hardware failure. And he come back down to the track, and Papala hit him. And it just kind of snowballed from there. Felton drove into Papala, and then the 3 got some of it. The 2 got some of it.
Wow.
The 3 got a lot of it. So a lot of guys heavily impacted there. But that looks like a hardware malfunction of some sort, because he just drifted right out into the wall.
Yeah, and he's almost instantly put it behind the wall. So Chris Simard having problems. Thankfully, he's already locked into Homestead. So unfortunately,
he just took some guys out, though, that were trying to race their way in.
And that's the
he fell through. That's what it was. He fell through.
Oh, no. So everybody bringing it down pit road for Mr. Feelgoods. See who's going to win the race off pit road here. And Shane Papala, I've got to assume he's going to be on the clock after hitting Chris Simard like he did.
That's pretty much ended all those guys' chances of winning. Maybe not, you know, it may not be so bad, but I know the 3 is definitely going to have some heavy damage. He wasn't one of the contenders, but you know,
just in front of the pace car, so timed that pretty well. He's only got some rear end damage as Jay Felton, so he's not too bad off. Braden Johnson is still in pit road. He is on the clock, and definitely Shane Papala is on the clock as well. So only 2 cars being played out here, as Adam Baker only took 2 tyres on that pit stop.
Wow, that's an interesting call. Well, they're only going to go a few laps here to the end of the first stage, so he's just trying to get these stage points, I guess.
Yep, 9 laps.
They don't matter, but
yeah, I think it's an interesting call, because there's only 9 laps to go before the end of stage 1, so all he needs to do is just try and keep it in front of Keith Mayato, and he's got the stage win.
Yes, sir.
So Chris Simard out of this event now, but luckily he's already locked into Homestead, so he is fine. Even though he would have loved to have won this race. So Scott, it's your turn to get us going, buddy.
All right, man, here we go. Time to go back to racing here. Gonna get another caution here in just a few laps to be the end of the first stage, but we're gonna get them cranked back up for a handful of laps. Baker's gonna be your leader. Pace car is off, ready to go racing again. Waiting on Baker. There we go. Green flag's out, and we're racing again in the desert as we try to figure out the 4 that are going to move on to Homestead next week here in the SOMO Championship. And let me tell you what, Sam, we've been talking about the guys that need to race their way in. One of the guys that was not involved in that crash that needs to race his way in, Seth Hatchell in the 8, right there in 3rd place, knocking on the door saying, hey guys, I need this win.
Yeah, and I think those 2 tires, as Adam Baker gets it all wrong, coming out of 4 and spins it. That's going to bring out the caution. Adam Baker.
That's them 2 tires, Sam, and bad call on that deal. I was wondering about that call. They had a boatload of laps on them tires, and yeah, he tried to take a gamble, and it did not pay off. He wasn't Kenny Rogers tonight.
Yeah, dipped 2 wheels on the apron, and that was enough to spin the car around. Adam Baker really putting himself on the back foot now. And that, with that damage he's got on the front end now, that might actually hurt his chance of winning tonight as well.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. I didn't get a real good look at how much damage there was.
Yeah. And Shane Papala did make it back out on track. Braden Johnson is on his final minute before he gets the good old Dairy Queen award. So Caution number 2 out here tonight. Keith Mayato is your leader. Seth Hatchell, as you already mentioned, he's looking to race his way into Homestead here tonight. He's in a prime position. He's already up to 2nd place now after the incident involving Chris Simard and a bunch of other drivers. He's looking
Sam,
good.
I gotta step away for just a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay. And while they're under caution, we will step away as well for a quick break. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with more racing action. We'll be... Oh, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
And he hits him again now. Ray Alfala into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing.
Race lead to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save.
Look to the outside as Trunkgate goes off. De Jong into 2nd place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
Trying this contact though. Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Renner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that 2nd spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the Paravolca. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the Paravolca. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schubert, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
And we are back live here at Phoenix. Lights are off on the pace car. We are ready to get them going again for a 3-lap shootout here. So it's going to be interesting to see who is going to take the advantage here. Keith Mayato definitely in a prime position here. But Seth Hatchell on that outside, remember, he has won several races himself this season. He knows how to get it done in this series as the pace car peels off. Keith Mayato not wasting any time as Travis Wall instantly goes to the inside of Seth Hatchell as they go towards turn 1 here. But Hatchell going to win that race into turn 1 there and keep holding the 2nd place. But Keith Mayato pulling away now. Into turn 3, there you go. Seth Hatchell in 2nd. Travis Wall in 3rd. Lupe Gonzalez up to 4th now. Larry Holloway, a fantastic 5th place for him so far. Currently just ahead of Jeff Glotner here. Glotner just ahead of Holyfield and Melvin. Alan Baker right there as well. He's trying to make his way through the pack, but we are one more lap to go now at the line before the end of stage 1, and Keith Mayato is in the catbird seat as they make their way through turns 1 and 2. Seth Hatchell under pressure here for 2nd place as he is got Travis Wall and Lupe Gonzalez a bit further back, but here comes Keith Mayato now into turn 3. And Mayato going to come out of turn 4 and he's going to claim stage 1 honours here at Phoenix. Stage caution comes out. And that is going to do it for stage 1 here tonight. Let's go to our stage results here for the Phoenix race in stage 1. Keith Mayata bringing home the stage win. Seth Hatchell 2nd. Travis Wall in 3rd. Lupe Gonzalez 4th. Larry Holloway in a fantastic 5th place, as I've already mentioned. Andrew Melvin 6th. Adam Baker 7th. 8th is Jeff Lochner. 9th is Ron Holyfield. And up to 10th now after all the melee all the melees that have been going on. Paul Zota picking up the last point in 10th place. So, with that, we are going to step away, and we have a special video package for everybody to enjoy. So, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes as changes come in.
Surprise.
Okay. And you rejoin us live here at Phoenix. We're back on the green already. Sorry that took a bit longer, but we had to make the big reveal here. But before we talk about that, let's talk to Scott You found a man that's just recently retired from this race. You're with Chris Simard right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, Chris, you didn't have much luck tonight, man. Your internet let you down tonight, brother.
Yeah, it did. I feel horrible. I just wanted to come on and apologize to everyone involved. It wasn't intentional at all. I kind of feel horrible. I took out the 9. I took out the 89. They were both running for the championship, trying to just irritates me a little bit. I apologize.
Well, if there's one thing you can't control, it's definitely the internet, man. And I'm sure those guys will appreciate you saying you're sorry, but at the same time, I also think they'll understand that it was out of your hands, and that's not something you would intentionally do or anything like that, so I'm sure they'll understand. But as far as the 9 goes, as long as Seth doesn't win this race, he's going to be just fine. He's going to be in the championship next week, too, so it didn't really hurt him all that much, other than tonight.
Yeah, I know. I just want to say sorry. I know there's probably no consolation to him, but hopefully, especially the 89, just didn't know what I was doing. But
yeah, that was tough for Shane. He really had nowhere to go. You come right down, and he tried to get it woed down, but yeah, no, he had really no reaction time to make a move.
Yep. I'm gonna put this behind me, but hopefully, anyways. But we'll see what happens next week.
Well, congratulations on your 3rd place finish last night, and like Sam was saying, you are checked into that championship race next week. So we'll be seeing you compete for that championship. What do you think your odds are of bringing that thing home next Thursday night, Chris?
Well, if my internet doesn't screw up, I have at least a fighting chance. I love Homestead, so we'll see what happens.
Is it going to be an attack kind of race for you, or is it going to be kind of hang back for a little bit, or?
Oh, it's kind of like Texas. I just attacked the race the entire time. I was up front the entire time, so it worked out for me. So I think I'm taking that approach. I don't think I can run it anyway else.
The points don't matter.
Points don't matter. I'm going for it.
Good deal, man. All right, buddy. Well, I wish you the best of luck next week. I'll see you on Wednesday, but I wish you the best of luck next Thursday, and hopefully you'll have a shot and bring home that championship, man.
That would be awesome. Thanks, guys.
Have a good night, Chris.
You too. You too, Sam.
I'll see you later, Chris. And that was a very, how should I put it? A very down and out Mr. Chris Simard. Yeah. Very distraught.
Yeah, he just feels bad. He took his competitors out. You know, Chris, those kind of things doesn't usually happen with Chris, and it's unfortunate. He got some guys that were trying to race their way into the championship involved in that. He just feels bad, but at the same time, like I was saying, you can't control your internet. That's the one thing that we don't have control over. And there's so much load on these iRacing servers at times. You never know what's going to happen to you. It's happened to everybody. It's happened to me. It's happened to Sam. It's happened to everybody. So yeah, it's happened to me in the mix of championship seasons. So, and it's cost me. So been there, and it sucks, but it's out of your hands.
Yeah, speaking of racing, we've got one hell of a battle going on between Adam Baker and Travis Wall right now. While you were talking to Chris, we've actually lost 3 drivers here tonight. Shane Pipala has put it up behind the wall, Mike Grandy's put it behind the wall, and Braden Johnson has been disqualified as he has gone over that 5-minute limit on the clock. So we are down to 11 drivers here tonight, but that doesn't matter. We've got some really good battles going on right now. Adam Baker trying to fend off Travis Wall as best as he can, as they are pretty much almost midway through stage 2 right now. Travis Wall right there with the 48. Seth Hatchell having one hell of a battle with Lupe Gonzalez right now. That is probably one of your battles for one of the last transfer spots here tonight, Scott.
Yeah, well, Seth has to get up there and win the race. These guys cannot beat Jay on points because there weren't enough cars here tonight. Like I said, the closest Seth was 36 points back, so there's just no way mathematically. Both of these guys got to get up here and win this race, so they're getting closer, but Seth was actually up here in 3rd place and applying some pressure, so he slipped back a little bit. But these guys are still in the fight. As you saw just a few minutes ago, anything can happen, so
Yep, as we've got one driver making it down pit road. That's Mr. Jay Felton. More problem. Oh, he's parted. He's going to put it behind the wall, I think.
And nothing on the line for him. He knows how it is. He knows that, you know, he's got damage now, so there's not much he can do. He just has to sit back and hope Seth doesn't win the race, and he's fine. And he'll be there battling for the championship at Homestead. If Seth wins the race, then Jay will be eliminated based off points.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Keith Mayato is starting to be reeled in here by Baker and Wall. So Keith Mayato not having it all his own way. He did get away for a short while Baker and Travis Wall were battling out, but they've now started to reel in the 09. And Keith can't be happy about that.
Well, he's still leading the race, so as long as you're leading, you're still happy.
Yeah. So, going back over what we saw during the commercial break, a big reveal happening there. Bofa is going through a bit of change in 2019. Gone will be the Bofa name, and coming in will be the brand new, will be called the Esports Broadcasting Network. That's some exciting change that's coming, and yeah, new channel, new environment, new broadcasting. Well, same old broadcasting team, but it's just a different name, different company.
Yeah, we're going to have some new leagues here soon, too. We're going to have a new one on, Monday night and Friday nights?
Hopefully.
Yeah, nothing announced yet, but a couple spots have opened up, so have some new leagues. I've tried to get my old buddy Johnny Smith to crank his Super Speedway League back up and just to get something on a Friday night for you, but I couldn't talk him into it.
Yeah, we'll pick something up. I mean, it's a new era in the in this whole broadcasting thing. It's going to be sad to see Bofa go, but
it's a good change, though, Sam. I think it's a good move, and I think you're definitely headed in the right direction. You keep picking up subscribers, and keep picking up races, and eventually you grow it up to where some of the other channels are. So it's just a matter of time, man.
yeah, absolutely. Anyway, we've got a battle hotting up here. We've already got the battle between Hatchell and Gonzalez, but Andrew Melvin is starting to join this little party now. We're going to have a 3-car battle here for that 4th spot here, as they're already 3.5 seconds to the good over Ron Holyfield, who's just running by himself right now. He's got Larry Holloway 4 seconds, well, nearly 5 seconds back from him. Paul Zota is 2 seconds back from Holloway, and Jeff Glottner is right behind Zota right now. Jay Felton is still sitting in pit road. He hasn't put it behind the wall, but he is 10 laps down, crucially, as Hatchell needs to get a shift on if he wants to even be in with a shot of winning this race. But there is one more stage to go here tonight, so he has got a chance still.
Yeah, still plenty of time. We're getting close to the end of the 2nd stage, but he's going to have to start putting a little more pressure on these guys and trying to hang with these front 3 if he's going to be there at Homestead next week, because where he's at right now, that's not going to get it done.
Yeah, same can be said for Lupe Gonzalez as well. He needs to win to get in, as well as Ron Holyfield. So these guys that are further back, Jay Felton, despite being pretty much out of this race now, still in the catbird seat and still occupies that 4th spot going into Homestead next week. And it has to be said, he's going to be in with an outside chance of taking a surprise championship with 0 wins on the season.
Yeah, you never know what could happen next week. Hell, he don't even have to win the race next week to be champion. He could finish 10th and everybody else finish behind him, and he's champ. That's how it's set up. That's how it could be. You never know. We've never seen it, but it could happen.
Yeah. And thankfully they're not doing it the real-life NASCAR way, where they just make it a whole points deal and just make sure the person wins it on points. Which is...
Say that one more time, Sammy.
The way that Logano won it at Homestead a couple of weeks back.
I got you.
He didn't win the race. He didn't win the championship based on position over the other drivers. He won it based on points. So
yep.
We're not going to Logano this championship. I can tell you that now. But that's the way NASCAR want it. They don't want repeat champions, so all the power to them. Anyway, still focusing on this battle between Hatchell Gonzalez and now Andrew Melvin, who's joined the party. Keith Moyato has been reeled in now. Adam Baker almost completely on his tail. And Adam Baker, on that last pit stop during the competition caution, took 2 tyres again. But crucially, so did Keith Moyato. And this is why Moyato's been reeled in here, because I'm believing those older tyres are just falling away right now.
Yep, but we've yet to see anybody try to make any kind of move as far as passing goes up here in the front. I haven't seen anybody try to make a move for the lead yet.
Yeah, and Jay Felton's night is done. He has passed that 5 minute mark. He has been disqualified. So only 10 cars left in this now. We started with, well, 17 before the qualifying began, but only 15 took the green.
You know, Jay's got to feel like he got hit with a steel chair. He's wondering, why'd I get DQ'd?
Yeah.
I feel like the other guy should have got DQ'd.
He's going to be sitting on that pit wall now, hoping that neither Seth Hatchell, Lupe Gonzalez, or Ron Holyfield win this tonight, because if one of those guys, as you've already mentioned here tonight, Scott, if one of those guys win this tonight, he's out. So.
Yep. Yeah, Keith would get that final transfer spot based off points, because he's so far ahead of all the other drivers based off points that it just wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
So either way, Moyato's looking good at this point with the way things have worked out. He's going to be there next week. But like I was saying earlier, I was talking to Keith, and he wants to do this based off him winning the race. But Adam Baker getting ever so closer now may apply some pressure before the end of this second stage. Travis Wall kind of hanging right there, waiting to see what happens.
Yeah, we are 11.
What a run he's had, huh?
Yeah, he was sitting like in the mid to the back of the pack.
Started 13th,
yeah.
Moved up 10 spots, biggest mover of the race. Lupe's moved up 8 spots, but Wall's got them 10 positions, so he's moved up from 13th to 3rd.
Travis, that would be $5 if it was Top Fuel Racing, just saying.
Yeah,
hint,
we
hint.
give away money all the time.
Hint, hint.
Yeah, Top Fuel Racing is always looking for some new drivers. Actually, doing a little bit of a recruiting session right now, so if any of you guys out there want to come run some open wheel, we got 3 races left in the season. You guys are more than welcome to come join us. We got a new season starting on January 2nd. And speaking of the new rebrand here at BOFA, the first race on the new rebranded channel, ESBN, will be a tribute race to my dad. It'll be the Paul Brinson New Year's Classic, and it'll be at the Big M, Michigan. And I can't wait on January 2nd.
Yep, so
It would have been my dad's birthday on January 1st, and I wish my dad was here, as our Fighting Irish at 12-0.
absolutely, they're going to make it 13-0 soon. So.
I hope so, and I'm actually looking for tickets. If that's Clemson and Notre Dame down in Miami, I'm actually looking at coughing up some coin and making that journey down there. It's going to cost me over a G, but it's going to be my last game in Florida, so.
Yeah. And those boys in Alabama have been running their mouths lately.
That's all they do. And, you know, I'm not going to say nothing about them. I'm going to take it one game at a time, but I'm going to say this about Alabama, Notre Dame, or their fans have not forgotten about the last time we played Alabama.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been running their mouths saying, yeah, they may be good, but we're going to thrash them when we get to them. So, Alabama just really trying to spice things up between those two teams right now.
Alabama better worry about Georgia.
Yeah, the neighboring state. Anyway, still battling out here between Hatchell, Gonzalez, and Melvin. Not really any drastic moves being made here. I think they're trying to work together to try and catch up to Travis Wall, but doesn't seem to be working right now. They've actually fallen to 2.5 seconds behind the 44 and don't seem to be making up any ground. It's actually, Hatchell looks like he's starting to pull away from Gonzalez for a second there, but nothing really happening there. Is Glockner down on the apron? Not sure what's going on for him.
I was wondering the same thing. I saw him down there. I wasn't sure if he was wrecking or coming out of the pits, or he's way off the pace though.
He's bringing it pit side, so and the doesn't look like he's got. I can't see in this light. I can't see if he's got any damage or not.
We got 4 complete laps until the end of the second stage here at the start of lap 90.
Yeah, this stage is going very quickly. So
this race is going pretty quickly. It's only 10 minutes till 10.
Yeah. So if Adam Baker wants a stage win that he unfortunately lost in the first stage, he needs to go and make a move now, because Keith Mayato is actually starting to pull away from these guys again. I wonder, while they were battling, Adam Baker and Travis Wall, have Adam Baker's tyres finally given up the ghost here, because he is starting to fall away from Mayato now. So Jeff Glockner now 3 laps down. Jeff Glockner is behind the wall. We are down to 9 drivers.
Wow. Place is eating them up tonight.
Phoenix is like the lady in black. She's a cold, heartless bitch. Sorry. But Phoenix is a... I shouldn't say that, because the Phoenix is a firebird, so... Can't be cold and heartless.
Yeah, a little contradiction there, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Leaders are starting to catch up to Paul Zota now. Paul Zota is just a few seconds just down the road there from those guys, so they probably won't catch him before the stage is over, as they're starting to, as the white flag comes out for the stage now. So, but look at Adam Baker. He's reeled in Keith Mayato again. He might have one more shot here before the stage is over. Actually, no, I don't think he will. He's too far back now.
No. But this is just the end of the second stage, so we got a lot of racing left to do. There's going to be 66 laps to go when we get back to the stripe here in this race. So still a lot of laps to turn here. Anything could still happen. And that is the end of the second stage. Keith Mayato wins the second stage. Adam Baker second. Travis Wall third.
Yeah, Seth Hatchell coming home in 4th place. Lupe Gonzalez in 5th. Andrew Melvin in 6th. 7th is Ron Holyfield. 8th is Larry Holloway. 9th is Paul Zota. And by default, pretty much, Jeff Glockner, even though he's now behind the wall, gets 10th place. So I don't think he'll get the point, will he, now he's behind the wall?
I wouldn't think so, but I don't know. I don't know how that works. I've never seen that at NASCAR, so.
No.
Well, wouldn't that be something if NASCAR was faced with that one day? Oh, got 8 cars left in the race. How are we supposed to hand out 10 stage points?
Well, I've seen other racing series finish with less than 10 before, so.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I'm just saying, I've never seen it in NASCAR.
The 1996 Monaco Grand Prix, only 3 cars finished.
Oh wow. What about the year Indy had the tire debacle with the Formula One race there, where only, what, 6 cars took the
5
grid?
cars. Oh yeah, 6
5,
cars,
yeah.
6 cars, yeah.
I knew it wasn't very many. I was actually in Indiana when that went down, but I wasn't at the race.
Yeah, Ferrari literally walked away with that race, because the only 2 teams that were behind them were Minardi and Jordan, and they were, at the time... Well, you should...
You don't have to tell me, I know, yeah, they walked them.
Yeah. I mean, Minardi and Jordan at the time were the 2 slowest teams on the grid, so...
And Ferrari's always been Ferrari.
Yeah.
They had a little bit of a downtime a few years ago, but they're back now.
Oh, they're not completely back.
Not yet. They're getting there. They're winning races again.
Their problem is consistency.
I don't like the fact Kimmy's leaving and they're bringing in that other dude. And I'm not a real big Sebastian Vettel fan. But I support Ferrari.
Charles Leclerc, his name is.
Yeah, I couldn't remember which one of the new up-and-comers that they were replacing him with. But I knew it was one of the guys in the back.
Yeah, he's from Monaco. He's a very fast young driver, and he's going to be very exciting to watch in that Ferrari next season. So I'll be excited to see what he does.
I'm going to miss Kimmy, though. Glad to see he got that win, though, a couple weeks ago. That was nice to see him get one more. That's probably going to be his last career win, so...
He's moving back to the team that he started his Formula One career with, so...
Right on.
Back to Sauber.
Swan song.
Pretty much. I mean,
Hopefully it works out better for him than it has for Fernando Alonso. That's too bad Alonso's not coming to IndyCar full time, but yeah, he'll make more money doing other things, so I understand why he's doing it. But it's cool he's going to be back at the Indy 500. I look forward to being there and seeing him in the race.
well, he's got his contract with Toyota with WEC as well, so because he's running the factory Toyota in the WEC Championship, so World Endurance Championship.
Can't believe that the new year is almost here already.
Yeah. Can't believe I'm 34 now.
Believe it, man. You're getting old.
Yeah, I can't believe someone hasn't killed me yet.
I know, right? I've said the same thing many times, many times. People have tried. People have tried, let me tell you.
Yeah, I know. No, lights are off on the pace car.
I'm still here, though.
As Elton John once said, I'm still standing. Oh my god, did I just make an Elton John reference? Anyway.
Yeah, I think you did. Rocket Man.
Now, lights are off on the pace car. I believe it's your turn to get us going this time, sir.
All right. One stage to go until the SOMO Championship. Who's going to win this race here in the desert? You know Keith Mayato wants it, but looks like Adam Baker has taken the position from him, and he's in first, so Adam's going to be pretty tough to beat. Whoever's been out front, I have not seen them passed yet tonight. I haven't even seen anybody make a move for the lead yet. But there goes Baker, and we're going again. Green flag is out. We're racing in the desert. Looks like Hatchell got a pretty good position there on Keith Mayato. Keith's going to have to hold him off.
Wow, that chop!
Seth is racing for a championship shot here. Look at this, making the move. Here he comes, Sam.
Yeah, as
he's going for it.
Down
He's
to the
underneath
inside. It's going to end in tears if he doesn't get out of it, back out of it. He doesn't back out of it. He stays in it with 3 winners. They're coming out of 4. And Adam Baker manages to win that battle there. Seth Hatchell had to back out of that. Otherwise, it was going to be absolute tears.
He had to go for it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to go for it. And he's still battling it up here. Now he's got Travis Wall to his inside. We're going to go 3 wide through the dog leg.
Yeah, the gloves are off from this point onwards. Oh, Travis Wall still on that apron.
Yeah, he got real loose there. Hatchell got out of it. He saw what was going to happen. He got out of it, and he tucked behind my auto. He saw that coming, so that was good. Good heads up there on the 8's part. And here comes Lupe. Cool hand Lupe. He knows it's go time.
I'm wondering if Travis Wall was attempting the Harvick line there.
I'm not sure what that is.
It's where he goes right down to the apron all the way through 3 and 4.
Gotcha.
But anyway,
That didn't work.
Not at all. As Adam Baker on that restart, I don't know if you saw that, put one hell of a chop block on Keith Mayato going into turn 1.
No, I missed that.
Drove right.
I was watching everything else that was going on around him.
Determined to stop the momentum from Keith Mayato, just went across the track, covered off Keith Mayato, and went back up again. What a move that was from Adam Baker, covering his bases before he sails off into the sunset, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. He's actually extended his lead to almost a second now. Adam Baker's got the bit between his teeth. He wants to win this race.
He sure does. Wants to build some momentum going into next week. But he better hope they don't get a caution, because all these guys will be right there knocking on the door again. But you also know that Keith Mayato is a great tire conservatist. So this ain't over yet. Adam's got to take care of his stuff out there. We've seen Adam get out front before and burn up his stuff and get run down. We've still got a whole boatload of laps here. It's 70% fuel, Sam, but I think it's going to be real close that these guys will be able to make it from here to the end.
Question is, will the tires hold out that long?
I think for some of these guys, they'll be able to do it.
Now, for someone like Keith Mayato, maybe.
Yep. And if Simard was still out there, I'd say Simard. We've seen Hatchell getting better, too, on the longer runs, so you never know.
And Lupe. Lupe's pretty good on the tires as well sometimes. Well, sometimes. Anyway,
that's kind of how Adam is. Sometimes he's hard on the tires, and that's why I said this ain't over yet. Adam's got a big lead, but he's got to take care of those tires. We've still got over 60 laps to go. Or I'm sorry, 50 laps to go. We got 53 laps to go next time around. So I was thinking to say 165, not 155.
So now the gap between Adam Baker and Keith Mayato is 1.1 seconds. So, as already mentioned, Adam Baker putting that move on Keith Mayato and setting off into the sunset. He's doing exactly what he wanted. Keith Mayato actually getting away from Seth Hatchell. Now, Seth Hatchell making a mistake. That's going to let Travis Wall try and get the inside line. Wall not going to make that move yet. He's going to let him sweat a little bit, I think. He wants to see that number 8 squirm a little bit.
Well, you want to crank it up for the fans one time tonight, Sammy?
I would if I had a crank it up cam.
Don't have one for this place?
No, unfortunately. It's because it's the new Phoenix layout. I don't have the cams for it, so.
I don't know.
For the newer tracks, I need to find camera packs for them. I don't know where to find them, so I just have to stick with the standard ones. But what we can do is we can see a masterclass from one Mr. Adam Baker. We can go on board for a couple of laps and see how he handles this track in that number 48 BZ Designs machine.
Sounds good.
So we'll go in that cockpit and we'll go on. We'll ride on board with one Mr. Adam Baker for 2 laps.
After you do that, you should ride on board with my auto because he's reeling him in.
That too. So with that, let's go on board with Keith Mayato and see how he's dealing with it. And we saw in those 2 laps there with Adam Baker, he's starting to struggle with those tyres already. And
that's what I was worried about. And he's got a lot of laps to go. And you can see it just on the track. You don't even have to look at the times. You can tell by looking at him on the track. But my auto is slowly reeling him in.
Yep. So let's go on board with Keith Mayato for 2 more laps. Now to turn 4 he comes, and you can see he's getting ever closer to that number 48 machine. Mayato can see that Baker is starting to struggle on those tyres, and Mayato wants that position. Meanwhile, Travis Wall has managed to get around Seth Hatchell. I did say before that Travis Wall was just waiting for that opportune moment, and now he finally got it. He's up to 3rd place now, Scott.
Yep. Seth's falling back. Whoa, and here comes Adam Baker. So we are going to see some pit stops. He's decided to make a stop, and he's coming in to get 4 Mr. Feelgoods. I imagine we'll see my auto pretty soon then. But then again, he may stay out.
We're down to 8 drivers.
And he just said to hell with it.
Yeah.
He's going to put him a lap down, so. And they're likely not going to get a caution, so. He's 3 for 3 with DNFs.
Yep. I mean, if he's thinking of running a full program next season, he needs to kind of work on that.
Definitely got to finish races. Build a rapport within yourself to make a commitment to yourself, not to commit or not to quit, and to finish these things. I take pride in that. I have very few DNFs in league racing.
Yeah, thanks for that reminder.
I'm just saying, I take pride in that. Even when I'm all tore up, if it runs, I'll go out there and finish. I might be pissed off. I might be sitting here cursing every lap to myself, but I'll finish it.
So just had that pit stops here.
Ask my girlfriend. She's heard it. I love you, honey.
Oh, dear. Anyway, Andrew Melvin and Seth Hatchell have brought down pit road. Melvin has actually jumped Seth Hatchell in pit road. Problems for... Actually, Hatchell got a penalty. No, Melvin only took 2 tyres, that's why.
Yeah, everybody's taking gambles now.
Yeah, Adam Baker only took 2 tyres as well. So, interesting strategy there, but Keith Mayato still out there in the lead. Still not going to bring it down pit road just yet. I'm wondering if that might hurt him in the long run, but the longer he stays out, the more time Adam Baker spends on those tyres and the more he's going to be on the back foot himself.
Exactly. When Keith pits, it'll be on the back end where Keith will make up all the time, and he'll be on pressure tires. So I imagine Keith will probably come in here pretty soon in the next 5 to 7 laps. I wouldn't see him going any past. Oh, there, look at that. That just changed it all. My auto just got bailed out right there.
And it's Ron Holyfield on those older tyres. Take a look at what happened.
And Baker had not gotten his lap back. So Baker will be the wave around car here. So that's going to put him at the tail end. That's going to favor Keith Mayato.
Yeah, and the tyres on the number 7 just giving up the ghost there as he literally lost the back end of that Hardy's number 7 and just slammed the inside wall.
And everybody's going to have 4 Mr. Feelgoods now. So basically, Baker pitted for nothing.
Yeah. As here comes Mayato. Baker's going to stay, obviously going to stay out because he's a lap down. And it was only Gonzalez and Mayato left on those old tyres. Holyfield was the man that spun, so he's going to have to bring it down, and he's going to, unfortunately, probably going to be on the clock unless he has to pit farm the thing.
That sucks.
Unless he decides to pit farm it, because I mean, only 8 drivers left. You can't really get any more out of this. You can't see any more retirements in this race. So Mayato brings it in.
I was kind of shocked we got a caution there. I thought we were going green the rest of the way, but a surprise caution here.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't know how that would have shaken out as far as the time goes, but I tell you what, I think that just bailed Keith out. And now he knows what he's got to do. He's got to just keep the lead and seal the deal on this thing. And like I was saying earlier, we have yet to see anyone make a move for the lead tonight. They have not even made the move.
Question is, will Adam Baker bring it down pit road himself now he's back on the lead lap and get back on the level playing field with Gonzalez and Mayato? And this falls it perfectly into Lupe Gonzalez's hands here. If he wins, he's into Homestead himself, so he's right there with Mayato.
Yep.
He's right there in it, so...
and unfortunately, Seth Hatchell trapped behind the pace car here, so he was not able to pit and get 4 tires, so he's going to be kind of screwed in the sense he's going to have some laps on his tires once we get going here.
Yep, same problem is going to be same problem he's going to have for Andrew Melvin and Paul Zotto as well. So
yeah, but if we don't get another caution, that's going to end Seth Hatchell's season. That's going to pretty much keep him from winning this race. So it's going to take us down to just Lupe Gonzalez, the only man that can knock Jay Felton out. Jay sitting around saying just one of them left now.
Another one bites the dust.
Yep. Fire up the queen.
Oh, Travis Wall. He didn't get popped for speeding. He blew his engine.
Oh.
He just wrote in the live chat saying, "Dang, a little bit of damage, and I didn't notice the oil temperature."
Yeah, I thought when I seen him disconnect that he had got popped for that speeding penalty. I thought it looked like he come in hot.
Yeah. He blew the engine. So
that's unfortunate for him, man. Had a hell of a run going. He'd been the biggest mover of the race for pretty much the whole race. Yeah. He was definitely working his way up there to be a contender again, and with this caution, he would have had a chance, but unfortunate.
Yeah, and obviously with no fast repairs in this series, a blown engine means an instant DNF, so...
Yes, sir. Well, here we go. Lights are out. Probably going to be the final restart of this thing. And look at that, Adam Baker back up there in that third position. But unfortunately, he's given the lead up to Keith Mayato, who's here with the lead. And as we were saying, we have not seen anyone challenge for the lead yet tonight and try to make a move for an official pass under green flag conditions. Yeah, green is out, and we're racing again.
Yeah, everybody apart from Lupe Gonzalez in single file on the bottom line. Gonzalez going to put the block on Adam Baker there into turn 1 and hold on to that second place. He's not going to let him have it that easily. Lupe Gonzalez knows that if he gets past Keith Mayato, he's going to be going to Homestead. And look at Lupe Gonzalez. He's really putting the gauntlet down now as he gets right onto the back of Keith Mayato as they come out of turn 4.
Yeah, he's got to do it now, man. He's got to get that lead while they're trying to get the heat in these tires. This is the time to do it. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Mayato's got it now. I know we got a lot of laps to go, but you're talking about one of the best tire conservatives out there on the track in any series that I've seen, and he's got the lead, trying to race his way to Homestead.
Yeah, Adam Baker already in there pretty much on points, so he doesn't need to worry much, but we know what Adam Baker's like. He just wants to win the race regardless.
I think it's going to take a mistake from Mayato because, like I said, we haven't seen anyone be able to make any kind of challenge for the lead tonight under green flag conditions. We've seen them be close, but no one's made the move even, so let alone make a pass.
Yeah.
Pretty much whoever's gotten out front, they've stayed out front during the whole run unless they've made a mistake.
So the top 3, Mayato, Gonzalez, and Baker have all completely walked away from Seth Hatchell and co. Hatchell actually going to make the move on Ron Holyfield. Ron Holyfield obviously got that damage from hitting the wall, bringing out caution number 5 here tonight. So he's just going to be eaten alive by Hatchell and Melvin, despite those two both being on older tyres. So Holyfield on the back foot here, and obviously he won't be making it to Homestead, unfortunately, especially after retiring early from last week's race. Gonzalez keeping Mayato very honest here. I will say. Adam Baker just sitting back there and watching everything going on in front of him.
Yeah, he's just hoping that somebody makes a mistake here in front of him. And he knows that Lupe is trying to race his way in too, and that Lupe's not in on points. So I think Adam just kind of hanging here, letting us see if Lupe has something underneath the hood for Keith. And if he does, give him the shot to go get it instead of getting in the way. So pretty cool sportsmanship there by Adam. At the same time, you know he wants to win the race. So he may try to do something for this is all said and done. You never know.
Yep, Adam Baker, racer turned broadcaster, kind of like myself.
And me.
And you, yeah. Obviously, he's taken up the reins at SR Broadcasting. Our good friends at SR Broadcasting. He's going to be broadcasting the new season of trucks. The truck series in SOMO, starting in a couple of weeks' time. So he's
Keith Mayato made a mistake there. Not to interrupt you, Sammy, but Keith Mayato made a big mistake there coming out of the corner, and it's botched all these guys up here. Lupe actually had a pretty solid run going on him there, but Keith was able to manage to fight him off. Almost a costly mistake though for Mayato. He feels it right now. He feels these guys. Uh-oh, and here comes Baker. He's looking so much for the patience.
Yeah, got all 4 wheels on the apron there, just try and get around Lupe Gonzalez. Didn't make it work though. Again, sportsmanship having to get in the way there as he had to back out, so he didn't make an unsportsmanlike pass on the 53. But Gonzalez needs to get past this 09. Mistakes and all, he had a chance to capitalise on Mayato's mistake there, but didn't really take it, unfortunately. So he's going to be stuck there behind Mayato. But going back to Adam Baker, yeah, he's given up his driving duties on Tuesday nights, and he will be taking over broadcasting duties with SR Broadcasting for that series. So good to see him up in the booth and doing what we do on a weekly basis, pretty much.
Yeah, it's always good to see a new broadcaster step up and take on some new leagues and put something new out there.
Absolutely. Also gives
the more of us there are, the better.
Absolutely. It gives Paul Zota a break as well. I mean, he's a hard-working guy. He's trying to run a league like SOMO with all three of its series, and then also trying to run a broadcasting company. It's not easy. I'm speaking from experience, obviously, because I run the Bofa Indy Classic Series as well, and I run Bofa, so it's not easy.
Now that we're halfway into that Bofa series, how do you feel about being a league owner now, Sammy, on top of being a broadcast owner?
A couple of times I wanted to hand grenade the series, but on the whole, it's not been too bad, you know. It's it's stressful, yeah. Oh, it's Baker hits the wall coming down to 4.
He's all right, though.
Yeah.
He still got his speed, too. You can tell it didn't really hurt him any, so also go, oh, he goes a little high there, so maybe he's feeling a little bit there.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's stressful, but it's very rewarding, I think.
Yeah, you just got to hang in there, man. There's going to be ups and downs, peaks and valleys. There's going to be times, like you said, when you just want to throw a hand grenade in there and run for your life. But all in all, man, you just got to look long term and know there's going to be some down times. But, you know, you're just getting started. You're still trying to find, you know, your regular core of drivers that are going to be there on a regular for the long haul. And eventually, you know, you'll get that. So not saying that you don't now, but, you know, the fields will grow bigger than what they've been. I know we've only had 12, 15 or so showing up every week, but it'll get more consistent. More people will start showing up. Just a matter of getting the word out there. Keep putting on races.
Yep. I mean, I always compare the league as like a World War II tank and me as the enemy soldier opening the turret and throwing a hand grenade in there and running away.
You know, sometimes it can really test your patience, and those are the times where you just got to take a deep breath and say, all right, tomorrow's a new day, and we'll see how we feel about it tomorrow. And usually it's not so bad. So,
speaking of which, this Sunday we are going to only our second free track on the calendar, as we are going to the house that Penske built, Michigan International Speedway, the 2014 version. So that's going to be an exciting race. I'm hoping to see a lot of people out there on that race.
That's my favorite track to race on. Top Fuel Racing will be going back to that track too. We'll be going to the new one and we'll be going to the old one. The old one's much more abrasive, and you know you got to do a little more driving on the old one. That's what I like about it. All the characters going on the new one.
You know what? The old bumpy tracks like, I don't know, Auto Club, Michigan, Kentucky, those kinds of tracks, I swear to God, I do a full race on those tracks, I swear, my hands go numb after a while. After dealing with all the bumps.
Makes you work for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you work for it. You wanted simulation?
Yeah. Oh, I love it. It's great.
Well, not much has changed up here in the top 3. Keith Mayato is still holding down the top spot right now. Sounds like Sam's having some mic problems. Mic check.
Okay.
There you are.
I have to beat the crap out of my microphone every now and again. I need to get a new one. I think I'll have to throw out a few hints there for seeing as Christmas is coming up. And it's my birthday as well, so someone buy me a microphone. It's my birthday. Anyway, it's starting to get spread out here at the top. I mean, Mayato's starting to get away from Gonzalez now. And we are 14 laps to go, so that's pretty come down very quickly. Seth Hatchell has moved his way up to 4th place, but unfortunately 27 laps on those tyres is going to be too little, too late. I'm pretty sure we might see one more pit stop before this is over.
No, nobody's going to the pits. If somebody told Keith Mayato to pit right now, there'd be a 4-letter word followed by a 3-letter word.
F off.
And I don't care if he curses or not. Those would be the 2 words that follow.
Kind of like my the picture I shared on Facebook earlier about the second picture from that Mars expedition going on right now.
Yeah.
F off, go home.
I saw that.
So 12 laps to go. We're about to go 11 laps to go as they cross the line here. Gonzalez starting to reel Mayato back in now. Baker, after hitting the wall a few laps ago, has really fallen away, and I think he's driving a wounded car right now, Scott.
I'll tell you what, Baker's out of this fight, and Lupe Gonzalez is running out of time. Lupe is coming to 10 laps to go in his season as far as competing for a championship. If he's going to do something, he needs to bring the thunder right now. It's time. He's right there. He's been right there. It's time to get up there and put some pressure on Mayato and make a move or try to make Keith into making a mistake here. Because otherwise, he's just basically following in Keith's wake, and he's going to be eliminated from that championship shot here in 10 laps.
Or could we even see the good old bump and run being brought into play here?
Hey, you know, at this point when a title's on the line, I hate to say it about Keith Mayato, but if I was him, I'd be aware of that bag being, or that trick being pulled out of the bag. Yeah. I wouldn't rule anything out. And if I was Keith, and I'm sure Keith's thinking this, that I'm sure he knows that.
Yeah. And after last night, I'm thinking the last thing that Keith needs is bad luck right now.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely doesn't want to let this slip away. It would definitely leave a mental burn, sting in the mind going into the next week. You don't want that. Hate to go though. Time's running out for Lupe.
I could say to him, now you know how I feel, but you know.
Yeah, that's not going to help any, trust me.
No.
That'd be like pouring fuel on the fire.
Oh, as I like to call it, poking the bear.
Here's a can of gasoline, Sammy. Have fun.
Poking the bear with a very big sharp stick.
Yeah, you are not the person that handed a can of gasoline to. Ooh, and Lupe almost lost it coming off the corner there, so lost a little bit of momentum. He's giving it everything she's got, but I don't know if it's enough. And the same story all night long with whoever's been out in the lead. No one's been able to even make the move we've seen yet for Lupe to make that move, but he's going to have to try soon.
Yeah, because you can't exactly dive it into the corners because that's where it all goes downhill. I mean, we saw from Adam Baker and from... we saw from Adam Baker earlier in the race that he dipped 2 wheels on the apron earlier and spun it around when he was challenging for the lead. Travis Wall had to back out of it after going through a 3-wide incident before his unfortunate retirement. So yeah, a lot of people that have been challenging for the lead have not been successful here tonight. Hopefully, as we're coming to 5 to go here, Lupe Gonzalez can be the first man to put a challenge on the leader here tonight as he's running out of time.
5 laps to do it.
Yep.
5 laps to do it, Sammy. He needs to do something. It's 3rd and long right now.
Yeah.
They need to hit a seam route or a post in a bad way.
And Mayato's responded. Gonzalez runs wide. That's going to hurt him.
Oh, big time. Yeah, that hurts. Them tires are gone. He scorched them up. They're like barbecue now.
Yeah.
Mayato's tasting barbecue. He's just trying to get there.
Gonna be JR's barbecue.
I've never had JR's barbecue. I've had some good barbecue though. There's Gonzalez going wide again. I guess trying to get that big run coming off the corner. It's not really helping him much though. He's just losing time on the track. As you can see, he falls further back. And
yeah.
I think that's going to do it. 3 to go for Mayato from Homestead.
He's lost half a second just by trying to make those moves alone. Those tyres are gone on the 53, and that's pretty much handed the race now to the 09, unless a miracle can happen here for Gonzalez. Gonzalez's season is pretty much done from this point onwards, as the popsicle sticks are at this time by. Out of turn 4 comes Keith Mayato, as he now has more control in this race than he ever has done before.
And it looks like Cool Hand Lupe has fired all the bullets in his holster.
Yeah. And Adam Baker, what could have been for him, if he didn't hit the wall, he would have been right up there with these guys as well, but unfortunately he did hit the wall. That's put pay to his race as the white flag comes out this time by. We are going to see win number 10 on the season for Moyato.
It's got to be a lonely feeling for Lupe knowing what could have been, and it's right there, and he just cannot reach out and grab it.
Yeah, as Moyato comes through the dogleg for the final time into turn 3 and through turn 4, and by way of a win, Keith Moyato is going to cross the line, and he is locked into the finale at Homestead, joining Chris Simard, Adam Baker, and Jay Felton is going to make it into the top 4 as well, going into Homestead.
Yeah, he sure will. None of them guys from 5th to 8th were able to win this race, and Jay's going to qualify as the dark horse. And any of those 4 guys next week have got a shot to be the champion next Thursday night. If I was them, I'd go home and start watching Rocky.
Yep, Lupe Gonzalez is second. He's not going to be happy in that. Number 53, Adam Baker third. Seth Hatchell fourth. Is going to be eliminated from the championship as well, unfortunately. Andrew Melvin rounds out your top 5. Ron Holyfield crosses the line in 6th. He was out before we even got going tonight. And Paul Zota, last driver running, he comes home in 7th. But the man in control right now is that man. And you've got to say, he's got to be one of the favourites here. Going into next week's race, you got to, well, I would say one of the favourites. I mean, he's won 10 races now this season, Scott.
Yeah, it's going to be a week of raw legs, Sam.
Yeah.
Well, let's bring him up here. I'll bring him up here, and you can have a word with him.
Absolutely, as that is our winner, Mr. Keith Moyato. We are going to speak to the man of the moment, Mr. Moyato, as Keith started on the pole, pretty much controlled things. You got the triple, you got the clean sweep here tonight. You got to be happy with that performance going into Homestead next week.
Yeah, because that doesn't happen very often. Things worked out. I didn't make drastic mistakes, and I hung on. I know Lupe was hungry there at the end.
Yeah, he was, and unfortunately, he was racing for a win to get himself into Homestead, so you can kind of understand why he was racing like he was. But unfortunately, it did not pay off for him tonight, and you did get the win here tonight, and that is going to give you a lot of confidence going into next week. I mean, I believe that's 10 races, 10 race wins this season.
Could be. I'm not counting, so
we've all lost count at this point. But yeah, Keith, pretty much 10 races, 10 race wins on the season. You got to be the favourite going into next week. Is that a good assessment, or is that, or you do not see it that way?
This is actually 11.
11. Wow.
If it was the beginning of the season, I would say yes. I have a lot of momentum. Adam was fast tonight. Just circumstances put him in a different position, but I don't know. I got to put some practice in, and hopefully I'll be fast enough at Homestead. I didn't think tonight was going to work out the way it did. Like, honestly, I thought I was going to fall back and then just, work my way back up to the front if I could. I didn't think I was going to be, charging the way throughout all the stages and at the end there.
So you got to go Rocky on him, Keith. Raw legs for the next week. Every morning, raw legs.
I might not make it to the race if I do.
But anyway, looking ahead to next week, Keith, what is your mindset going into that race? I mean, it's a big race. You're looking for back-to-back titles here in the series. Just what are your thoughts going into that one next week?
For the win. The way it's been all season with, because I got a battle with Chris, Adam, and Seth. I think whoever wins the race is going to win that championship, unless, like I said, something stupid happens. Unless, he screen blacks out like it did with Chris. Hopefully nothing stupid like that happens to any of the guys in the chase. That would just be horrible. Just
don't Logano it. That's all I can say. Was that a low blow?
I'll try. I got fusion, so maybe it'll work out.
But anyway, Keith, congratulations on the win tonight. Going to be going into Homestead next week with your head held high. Is there anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's victory?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the work that Chris and I put in some practice during the week, and everything that Paul does, running the league and all the, I guess, the moderators that we have, and yourself and Scott for doing an awesome job broadcasting on Thursday nights.
Okay, Keith. Well, congratulations one more time, and we'll see you next week for the finale at Homestead.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you next week.
Good job, Keith. Congratulations, man. Good luck next week. Chasing that championship, brother.
Thanks, Scott. I appreciate it.
As that was our winner, Mr. Keith Moyato. Scott, I believe you found our third place finisher, Mr. Adam Baker.
Yes, sir. Adam, you got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Adam. I know it's not the result you wanted tonight, but all in all, man, you got another podium finish here. How you feeling about next week's championship, dude? You feeling like you can go out there and finish this thing off next week and win the championship?
Yeah, I'm hoping the setup fits my driving style a little bit better than tonight's did. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Homestead. I usually run pretty well there. Phoenix, tonight wasn't. I made a lot of mistakes, but definitely had some speed and ran better than I usually run here in these cars. So that's been that's good to see that there's been improvement, and really just got to focus forward, put some practice laps in for next week, and see what happens.
Yeah, when you took 2 tires there, was your spin out as a result of that, or did you make a mistake at the same time while taking 2 tires?
I mean, the 2 tires were definitely the cause of that. I think I made a mistake in going a little too low in the turn there. I went really, really deep on the apron there, and it, I don't know, there was a lot of load, I guess, on the right side, and it didn't stick. It just went around, and I barely hit the inside wall. So luckily, didn't have much damage, but it was definitely a dumb move on my part.
The other question I got for you: do you regret making that pit stop when you made it late in the race?
No, not really. I mean, it would have worked out if it had gone green, and I didn't expect there to be a caution with so few cars. I took 2 tires.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I took 2 tires, and I figured Keith would probably have to take 4 when he came in. And, I was making up time on him with him staying out, and I think it would have worked out really well for me. So
you weren't worried about him making the time on the back end of it?
No, I wasn't too worried about it, because the fall off got to a point really, and it would just kind of stay there. He wouldn't really fall off any further. So I figured he would gain on me a little bit, but it would have been a pretty big gap, and I think the time remaining, it would have been pretty difficult. It would have been, relatively close, probably within a couple seconds, but I don't think he would have gotten there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it just fell at the wrong time for you. And me and Sam talked about pretty much the whole broadcast. We didn't see anybody even really make a move for the lead. Was it just the setup just wasn't there to do that tonight?
Yeah,
was that the case?
Yeah, it was too tight on entry. You really had to crank the brake bias down to get it to turn in. And I don't know. I was just kind of riding behind Keith, hoping he would make a mistake, and he didn't really make one for that first stage. And then the 2 tires was just an effort to try and get the track position. And obviously that didn't work, but it was really tough. I mean, the leader had a pretty good advantage, I think, in just being out front, and it's just so hard to get by.
All right, man. Well, we know you're going to be back next week, and you're definitely going to be one of them heavy players. You're the all-time wins leader here, man, and I know you're going to want to put a championship with that. So we expect you to be up front next week running at Homestead. But is there anybody you want to thank for this 3rd place finish at Phoenix?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys up there in the booth at BOFA Broadcasting for broadcasting these races for us. It's a lot of fun to go back and watch. I'd like to thank the admins and all the other drivers for putting on these great races and doing everything that they do. My teammates at MB Motorsports, the viewers of the stream tonight, and also our sponsors, Portside, Jaguar, and Land Rover, and all our other sponsors.
All right, Adam. You remember when I used to call you the touchdown maker when we were over on MSTV?
Yeah, I was just watching an old race with that.
You need a touchdown next week, dude.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Good luck, man. I wish you the best of luck next week in chasing that championship.
All right, thank you.
All right, brother.
Well, that was our 3rd place finisher and another entrant into the finale at Homestead. Let's bring up Jay Felton now. retired early in the race, but still makes it into the final four. Jay, you're pretty much a dark horse going into next week's race. No wins on the season, but you're there on points. Just give us your thoughts going into next week's race. I know you're going to be looking forward to that one.
I wasn't aware of that, Sam. I thought that Seth would have gotten in. Seth Hatchell.
No, sir. You are the man, Jay.
I'm flabbergasted. I mean, I felt like I had a 4 or 5 point lead, and I didn't get any stage points tonight, and I finished 11th. I didn't see how I could be the 4th driver.
I'm almost positive that you're going to be the 4th guy.
Well, if I am definitely the dark horse.
I may be about that.
There's no doubt about that, but we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. I mean,
yeah.
Whether I'm in the Final Four or not, Scott, I'm going to be there next week, because if I don't make it, I need to race for 5th against Lupe and Shane. So I'm going to be there one way or the other.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's bring Paul up here so we can get this all sorted out, see if Paul has any idea who's going to be that final guy yet.
Absolutely. Let's bring Paul up here.
Mr. Paul Zoda, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's up, man?
Well, Paul, it looks like I looked at the points wrong earlier, and I might have called this incorrectly for Mr. Felton. We were just curious if you had done the points yet and knew who that 4th and final guy was that's going to transfer.
No, I didn't do it yet because we got the stages to run inside there. It's going to be close, though, man.
Yeah, well, just looking at it, do you think it was Jay or was it Seth? Or
my guess is probably going to be Seth, because I think he finished higher.
I think you're right, Paul. I know that Seth, he was 4 or 5 points behind me going into this race.
6.
6 points, okay. And then he got stage points in both stages. I don't know how many he got, but I would think he probably got at least 10 stage points. And then he finished ahead of me in the race. So I think Seth's your 4th driver. And, I was sitting there watching the race, and I knew that if Lupe won, that would bump Seth out. And so, I mean, it was pretty exciting there to watch at the end.
Yeah, that's on me. That's my fault. I looked at the wrong number earlier, and that's why I got the discrepancy. We called the whole race like you guys, all the way 5th to 8th, like you guys had to win, that you couldn't get in on points. So that was because I looked at it wrong. So that was entirely my fuck up, and that's on me.
No problem. But we all make
no worries, man. No worries, Scott.
We all make mistakes. But anyway, Jay, you might not be in this thing anymore, but you're going to be definitely looking forward to Homestead despite the disappointment here tonight.
Oh, I am. I look forward to every week, and I enjoy watching the broadcast. This car has been such a challenge for me, because I really haven't spent any time until I started racing in SOMO in the A car, and it has really given me fits from time to time. But I've had a good time with this competition, because I mean, when you come here and race in this A car, there's a lot of talented drivers in here.
So a lot to think of going into next season as well. I mean, you've come close to it this season. Are you going to go for it next season?
Well, I'm certainly going to race in SOMO next year, and plan on racing all 3 series. I'm a little nervous about the open setups, but I'm just going to get in there and do like I did this year. Sam, I'm going to just fight and dig and claw and see how it turns out.
Okay, well, Jay, I know it wasn't the result you were looking for, but it was a good go. You gave it a good shot tonight, and you came home in 11th place. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go here tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank our sponsor. It's our title sponsor is Portside, Jaguar, and Land Rover. I really appreciate their support all throughout the season. And I'm not sure who tonight's race sponsor is. Can you help me with that, Sam?
I actually don't know, Paul.
I don't think there was a race sponsor tonight, just Portside Jaguar. But we do have other sponsors that I'd like to give a thank to. Also, is Coffee and Glitter Mom, BZ Designs, iRacing World, iRacing Drivers World. Been really good, man. Jay, and one thing I got to say about Jay, Jay said he was fighting and clawing throughout the season, and you can see it because he's, I don't know, past couple, I say last month or two, maybe even a little bit longer than that. Jay really stepped up and been a front runner. So looking forward to next season, man.
Absolutely. Well, Jay, looking forward to see you next week at Homestead. So, unfortunate tonight, but we'll definitely look forward to seeing you next week at Homestead.
Thank you, Sam, and thank you, Scott. Thanks for everything you've done for the league this year, and I've enjoyed the broadcast, and it was a great job, guys.
Once again, Jay, sorry about that. To bring you up here under the misinterpretation that you were going, dude. Like I said, I was looking at the lap number instead of looking at the points like an idiot, like a rookie. So that's completely on me. Now that whole broadcast was broadcasted under false pretense, but that's my fault. So sorry about that.
Don't worry about it, Scott. Better to straighten it out now.
Yeah, but hey, just let me say before you go, man, that I was definitely impressed with the charge that you put on late in the season, and you damn near made it, man. You put on a hell of an effort, so congratulations on your effort closing out the season, Jack.
Thanks a lot, Scott. I had a lot of fun. These guys are terrific to race with, really are.
Right on, buddy. Well, have yourself a Merry Christmas. Okay. All right, bud.
See you next week. As that was Jay Felton joining us there. As joining Scott now is the man that's actually made it just by the skin of his teeth on points. Seth Hatchell. Scott.
Yeah, we got the right guy this time. Seth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, I botched this interview just a few minutes ago because we picked the wrong guy. But you are the man. You are the fourth and final guy that's going to transfer to Homestead based off points. How you feeling right now?
A little mixed emotions. I'm very grateful to be in the Final Four here. I didn't really foresee me being the guy making it in on points, but it is what it is. But at the end of the day, these last couple of weeks I haven't been running as great as I need to be, so I need to be putting a lot of practice in and make sure I can go to Homestead and win.
Yeah, how do you feel about Homestead as a track? You feel pretty good about your chances racing there? You have a pretty good history there?
I have a decent history there. I know last year I was racing Keith, and for most of the night we were neck and neck, and I got involved in an accident. I have I think a win there in the B cars, so we'll just have to see. These other three guys, they're gonna up their game too going into Homestead, so it's gonna be really interesting. I got to work really hard to make sure I can beat them.
Well, tell us a little bit about your race out there tonight. I already exited out of the room, so I didn't see where you finished, but you were up there a little bit. You made that move late. Do you think if you would have been able to get by that you would have been able to hold them off? Because we did see you fade back a little bit as the run went on.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying a couple different things tonight. Usually I run a higher steering ratio, and I was running a lower one tonight because usually the short run is what kills me. And sure enough, I was great for about 3 laps, and then maybe after 10 or 15 laps, I started falling back. I got better at it as the night went on. I was able to stay a bit closer, but just never was enough.
Well, you don't have to worry about it next week because next week's a fresh slate and there's a title on the line. So I would just focus on that. I wouldn't worry about any of these other races and just go get them, man.
Yeah, 10-4 on that. I'll do everything I can.
Practice, practice, practice. That's all. That's the best advice I can give you. You anybody you want to thank for tonight, Seth?
Yeah, I got to thank you guys. You guys do a great job. Got to thank all the fans that watch, Paul, all the admins, all the sponsors, and all the great drivers in this league.
All right, dude. Well, like I told all the other ones, man, go get them next week and do your best to bring home that championship because that's what's on the line next Thursday night.
Yes, sir. 10-4.
And have a Merry Christmas, too, if I don't talk to you.
Yeah, you too.
Well, that was our final man in the chase here with the SOMO Portside Jaguar and Land Rover Cup Series. Definitely going to be exciting going into next week's race, Scott. 4 of the winningest drivers on the season, and all four of them capable of winning races, and only one of them can bring home the title here tonight. It's going to be absolutely off the chain next week.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, man, the way it's set up is somebody could finish 10th and win the championship if the other guys finish behind him. And you never know what's going to happen. So that's why they go out there and run the races, because if you just did it on paper, it wouldn't be no fun. So we'll find out next week if there's any surprises in the store. But one of those four guys will have a championship next Thursday night.
Absolutely. And with that, let's go to our results for tonight's race, as Keith Mayato is your winner here tonight, as he brings home the 11th win on the season here tonight. So that is going to be giving him a big confidence boost going into the finale next week at Homestead. Coming home second was Lupe Gonzalez. He tried his hardest, but he just didn't make it. He comes home second, and Adam Baker, the other entrant into the final four, is in third. Seth Hatchell, another entrant into the final four, he's in fourth. Andrew Melvin rounds out your top five. Ron Holyfield in sixth. Seventh is Paul Zota. Eighth is Travis Wall. Ninth is Larry Holloway. And rounding out your top 10 is Jeff Glotner. 11th, just missing out on the final four, was Jay Felton. 12th was Shane Papala. 13th is Mike Grandy. 14th, Braden Johnson. Already locked into Homestead before tonight's race was Chris Simard. He finishes in 15th. And not taking the green tonight were Kurt Davidson and Chad Heath. Well, that is going to do it for us tonight here at Phoenix. What a race we've seen here tonight. Lots of attrition, which is what you don't normally see with SOMO, Portside, Jaguar and Land Rover Cup Series, but definitely been an exciting race nevertheless, and we've seen some different twists and turns as the race progressed over the 155 laps. Just a quick overlook on the schedule before we go tonight. This Sunday we go to Michigan with the Bofa Indy Classic Series as we go to round 10 of that particular series. We're past halfway and the championship fight is getting closer and closer as we get towards Homestead for that series as well. And Monday and Tuesday we're off, and then Wednesday we're back with the Top Fuel Racing IndyCar Series as they go to one of Scott's favourite tracks at Auto Club. Scott, you're going to try and wrap it up there this Wednesday, right?
That's the plan, but sometimes things don't go as planned. But I'm just going to do what I've done every week and just try to do my best. Take it 1 week at a time. Got a 44-point lead with 3 weeks to go, and I don't want to look back on it 3 weeks from now and say what the hell happened. So we're just going to do our best, but at the same time, I'm going to be aggressive instead of being passive, because I don't want to look back on it and be like, well, I changed my game plan with 3 races to go, and it cost me my championship. So they're going to have to beat me the way I've been driving all season long, which is fair and strong.
Absolutely. So that is going to do it for us tonight. All that's left for me to say is keep it clean, keep it green, and we will see you Sunday night at Michigan. Good night.
Have a good weekend, everybody.